Good morning Year 8, hope you've all had a wonderful half term and welcome back. Let's start off with a quick starter for today's maths lesson. Can you find for me what 3/7 of 21 would be, what 3/4 plus 7/4 might be, can you increase 100 by 10%, and then can you find the lowest common multiple, or LCM, of 2 and 5. Please pause the video and have a go at these questions in your light blue books now, please. Right, let's go through the answers. So if I want to find 1/7 of 21, I need to do 21 divided by 7, which will give me 3. And then Sophie, if I wanted to find 3/7, what do I need to do with that 3? Multiply it by 3, thanks Sophie. So 3/7 of 21 will give me 9. For adding fractions, we need to make sure our denominator is the same. In this case, our denominator is the same already, it's already 4, so we can just add our numerators together. 3 plus 7 gives me 10 over 4. But I can simplify that, I can divide top and bottom by 2. If I do that, I'm left with 5 over 2. I can either leave that as an improper fraction or I can write it as 2.5. Either answer would be correct. Okay, we're increasing 100 by 10%. How do I find out what 10% of a number is, Tamsin? Divide it by 10, great. So to find 10%, I need to do 100, enter an arrow, divided by 10. Which is 10. Nice and easy so far. So to find 10%, we've divided by 10, but we've been asked to increase 100 by 10%, so we need to do 100 plus 10, which will give me 110. And finally, I've been asked to find the lowest common multiples of 2 and 5. Jonas, can you list me the multiples of 2, please? What's the 2 times table? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We could go on, we don't need to. Alicia, what's the 5 times table? 5, 10, lovely. So our lowest common multiple is the lowest number that appears in both of those timetables, which is 10. Okay, let's have a look at today's maths lesson. I'm going to start off. In your light blue books, what does this mean? Pause the video, write down what you think this symbol means. Right, so this symbol, nice and easy to start off with, means equals. So if we've got 3 times 5, we know that's equal to 5 times 3. Both of those sums will give me 15. 15 is equal to 15. They're the same. Okay, Year 8, in your light blue books, what do you think this means? Can you write down what you think it is and write an example for me? Okay, so the line through the equal means that this is not equal to. And an example for this one could be 8 divided by 2, which would be equal to 4, which is not equal to 2 divided by 8, because 2 divided by 8 is equal to 1/4. And 4 is not equal to 1/4. Let's try another one. In your light blue books, what does this mean? Ollie, what do you think this means? Greater than, brilliant. So this means greater than. So if I've got 2 numbers, the bigger number will go on the bigger side of the greater than sign, and the littler number will go on the smaller side of the greater than sign, as shown in this little diagram. In your light blue books, can you fill in the gaps of this example? 5 is greater than what? Any numbers you can think of. Okay, Emily, can you think of some numbers that can go in these gaps? 4 would work, 5 is greater than 4. 1 would work, 0 would work, -10 would work. 5 is greater than all of those numbers. Okay, Year 8, in your light blue books, what do you think this symbol means? Okay, Logan, what do you think this means? This symbol means greater than or equal to. It's got half of the equal sign in it and the greater than sign. So think of this little line underneath of it meaning half of an equal sign. So we're greater than or equal to. Can you, in your light blue books, fill in the gaps? 5 was greater than what? And 5 is greater than or equal to. What extra number can you include? Pause the video for a minute, have a go at that, please. Right, so when we talked about 5 was greater than, we put in 4, we put in 3, we put in -10, we can have -1/2. All of those would be valid. But what extra number can I include? Well, we've now said it or equal to a number. So the extra number we can include is 5. 5 is greater than or equal to 5, 4, 3, 2, etc., etc. However, 5 is greater than 4, 3, 2, etc. So 5's our extra number. Okay, Year 8, in your light blue books, what does this mean? Pause the video, have a little think. Okay, this one means less than. So again, we put the smaller number at the smaller end of the less than symbol and the bigger number at the bigger end of the less than symbol. In your light blue books, can you fill in the gaps this time, please? Pause the video, have a go at that. Okay, let's fill in the gaps. 5 is less than 6, 7, 100, 99, loads of numbers that 5 is less than. So what do you reckon this means then? Bradley, what do you reckon this means? Well, I've got that little line underneath it. This means less than or equal to. Think of the line as half of an equal sign. So previously we said that 5 was less than, and we wrote down lots of numbers, 6, 10, 100, a million. All valid answers. But what extra number can I include now, Isabel? The extra number I can include is 5 because we've got that half an equal sign. Okay, Year 8, in your dark blue books, can you write the title Equality and Inequality Symbols? Can you then write down the meaning of each of these symbols? And can you provide an example for each one, please? When you write down the equals, can you also write that this symbol means not equal to? Make sure that's in your dark blue books. Pause the video and complete that now. This should take about 5 minutes. Right, let's check your understanding. Can you pause the video for 10 minutes and have a go at these questions for me? For each of the first statements, can you tell me whether it's true or false? And if you're confident, have a go at my extension at the bottom. Pause the video for 10 minutes and have a go at that now, please. Right, let's have a look at some answers. True and false up at the top. You'll notice for these bottom ones, we've got 2 different caveats. So here we're saying 0 is less than or equal to -2, which is not. 0 is bigger than -2. However, for 5 is greater than 3, that is true, and 3 is greater than or equal to 1, so that one is true. Let's talk about these extension questions. I asked for 5 possible integers. Amelia, can you give me 5 possible integers for x is greater than -3? Yeah, -2 would work, -1 would work, 0, 1, 2, that would all work. The number we cannot have is -3 because we haven't got that equal to sign in there. For the second one, we're looking for less than or equal to 8. So I can have 8, I can have 7, I could have 6, 5, 4, etc., etc. For the third one, I was looking for a number x, which is greater than or equal to -1. So -1 would work. I could then have 0. I could then have 1. I could have 2. Could I have 3, Jonas? No, why not? Because I've said x is less than 3, but it cannot be equal to 3, so I cannot have 3. And finally, as my extension, what is the highest non-integer number that I could write for part 3, and what is the lowest non-integer? Well, the highest non-integer is the number as close to 3 as I can get without it actually being 3. So 2.9999999, etc., etc. would be my highest non-integer. And my lowest non-integer, I can have -1, however that's an integer, so it's going to be -0.999999999. Well done if you got that right. Okay, you're right. In your dark blue books, can you write the title Listing Integer Values? And then can I see pens down, eyes on me? I'll go through some examples and then you're going to do some examples. Okay, so for listing integer values, we want to list all the numbers that are less than 7 for x is less than 7. So this is going to look like 6, 5, 4, 3, etc., etc. We put ... to include all the numbers that would carry on with that sequence. So 6, 5, 4, 3, ... We cannot include 7 because we haven't got a less than or equal sign, we've just got a less than sign. For the next one, I've been asked to find all the integers that x is less than -7. So again, we can't include -7, however we can have -8, -9, -10, -11, ... And for the last one, I've been asked to list the integer values where x is greater than or equal to -7. Now that equal to sign means that I can include -7 this time. I then need to go greater than -7, so that would give me -6, -5, -4, ... Over to you, Year 8. Please pause the video for a couple of minutes, and in your dark blue books, can you have a go at these questions for me in exactly the same way? Right, let's look at some answers. I've said for the first one, x has got to be greater than 7, but it cannot be equal to 7. So we can have 8, 9, 10, 11, ... For the next one, I'm asking for all the numbers that are greater than -7. But again, we cannot include -7 because we haven't got that equal sign. So -6, -5, -4, ... And for the last one, I wanted numbers that were less than or equal to -7. Because of that equal sign, we can now have -7. We then need to go less than -7, so we can have -8, -9, -10, ... Please make sure you've got these examples written in your dark blue books. Okay, you're right. Mini whiteboards or light blue books, A, B, C or D, list the possible values of x. Pause the video if you need to think. Okay, here we've said x is equal to 5. It cannot be any other number, so the answer I was looking for is B. How about now? So this time we've said x cannot be equal to 5, but it could be any other number, so the answer I was looking for is A. How about now? A, B, C or D in your light blue books? Okay, this time we're saying x is less than 5, but it cannot be equal to 5, so it cannot be A. It's got to be D. How about now? Look at what's changed and what's going to change about your answer. So this time we've got less than or equal to, so we can include 5, so our answer will be A. How about now? Okay, so now we're looking for a number that's less than or equal to -5. So we can include -5, and then we need to go less than it. So we've got -6, -7, -8, -9. I was looking for D. Next question. Pause the video at any time if you want to have an extra long think about it. This time we're looking for greater than or equal to -5, so we can have -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. I was looking for D. And finally, how about now? Okay, so this time I want numbers that are greater than but not equal to -5. So that's going to include -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, and I was looking for A. Okay, Year 8, can you pause the video now and have a go at these questions in your light blue book? For example, the first one says x is greater than 5. The statement said, can x be 7? I think it can. 7 is greater than 5, so yes, that's possible. I'll do another example. Here I've got x is greater than 5. I've been asked, can x be pi? Well, pi is just the number 3.142. We need x to be greater than 5. 3.142 is not greater than 5, so no, that's not possible. And another example down here, I've said that x is greater than -5.1. Can x is -5? Is that greater than it? Yes, it is. Because you'd go -5, -4, -3, etc. Okay, Year 8, can you pause the video for 10 to 15 minutes and have a go at those questions now, please? And these are the answers. Please check how you did. And can you list the integer values for each of these inequalities for me? Pause the video for 5 to 10 minutes and have a go at these questions in your light blue books. The answer will be either blue, red, green or yellow for each inequality. And these are the answers. Please check how you did. So the final thing we need to be able to do with an inequality is to put it on a number line. So in your dark blue books, can I have the title Inequalities on a Number Line? And underneath, can you write the little filled in dot and say number included? Think full of colour. And underneath that, can you write the unfilled dot equals number excluded? Think empty of colour. And when you've got that down, can I see pens down, eyes on the boards? Pause the video for a couple of minutes to copy that out. Okay, so what do I mean when I talk about these little circles? Well, here I've got x is greater than 2. We're not including 2 in this inequality because I haven't got that equal sign. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the number 2, know that it's excluded, and I'm going to do an empty circle. We then need all the numbers that are greater than 2 without including it, so we're going to be going this way on the number line, which I'm going to indicate with an arrow. For the next one, I've been asked to show x is greater than or equal to -2. So this time, -2 is included. So we want to put a filled in dot over -2. We want x is greater than or equal to -2, so we're heading in this direction, which we will indicate with an arrow. Over to you, Year 8, please pause the video for a couple of minutes and have a go at showing these two on a number line. Pause the video and complete that in your dark blue books now, please. Right, let's go through the answers. I've been asked for x is less than 2, this time 2 is not included, so we're using an empty circle. And we're heading in this direction this time, indicated with an arrow. And for x is less than or equal to -2, this time we've got that equal sign, so it's a filled in dot. We're going less than or equal to, so we're heading in this direction, just the same way. Please make sure you've got that written in your dark blue books. And then pause the video for about 10 minutes, Year 8, and have a go at these questions for me. Can you mark the following inequalities on the number lines? Pause the video and complete that in your light blue books now, please. And these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. Note they're all empty circles because none of them have got that equal sign in them. And finally, Year 8, can you have a go at these questions? Pause the video for 5-10 minutes and show these inequalities on the number lines for me. And these are the answers. Please notice you had that less than or equal sign or greater than or equal sign, so they're all filled in dots this time. And that's the end of today's lesson. Thanks very much for listening, Year 8. Please now head over to Google Classroom and submit today's exit ticket. Have a lovely day. Thank you.